49ers and their new QB surpass the Cowboys as the number 2 team in the NFC?
Because they won a game against a team? They won 2 games in a row? How many?
And their quarterback looks good early on.
They destroyed both of them, though. Like, he destroyed Miami, and now Miami didn't play well the next week either. So maybe Miami's in a lull or not as good as they were to start the year. And then they destroyed Tampa, who Tampa's horrible, but they are winning their division.
And don't take this question as an assertion of my opinion.
Yeah, no, I guess I'm in a lot of different places.
I do have San Francisco better than Dallas right now.
Well, and Mike, I think if you go back to the beginning of the year, I picked San Francisco to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Then they traded. Then Elijah Mitchell got hurt, and they traded one of their other running backs, and I was like, whoa. But they got McCaffrey, and I was like, oh man, that's even.
Debo has a high ankle sprain too, so I don't know how long he's out.
He said Shanahan yesterday seemed to insinuate that 3 weeks, and he said he thinks he'll be back before the end of the regular season, which would be the last game of the regular season since all the teams now have 4. But I do also wonder if they'll be like locked into that number 2 seed, or I guess maybe number 3 seed, and not have anything to play for and give them more time.
The Cowboys have now, so they've won 2. The Cowboys won 4 in a row. Is that 4 in a row that we're sitting at right now? Go back to the Vikings.
I think it's 3.
The Vikings, the Giants,
double check,
and then you got the Colts, and then the
yeah, you're right. It is 4, and 6 of their last
Texans.
7.
So, I'm still feeling pretty confident that the Cowboys can find ways to win. I know that they're a very tough team. I don't know how long you said Debo's going to be gone.
3 weeks,
but he could affect him again. That's what I'm saying. Is like Debo's been injured all season. So, like, and that'd be
even high ankle sprains. Usually, you don't come back 100%.
Yeah, and he's such a physical runner when he has the football that I have a lot of other thoughts there. They have a really good play caller. They have a fantastic play caller. They have a fantastic defense too. I think that they're neck and neck right now. And I also think that give the defenses a couple more weeks to see what Brock Purdy is, and maybe they can go, okay, we're going to force him to not be able to do this. At the moment, for the last 2 weeks, watching what I've seen, Shanahan has done a phenomenal job at saying, you can do this. So we're going to use what you can do, and not asking him to do anything that he can't do so far. I'm very interested to see what happens whenever defenses say, you're not going to be able to do what you're good at today. Good luck. The thing is, though, they have a really good running game to go along with it. So, like I said, neck and neck for me at the moment. I don't think they've surpassed the Cowboys, though.
Okay, so I have some notes about Brock Purdy. He took over in his first career start. I know he'd played most of the game before, but technically this last game was his first career start. He became just the second quarterback since 1950 to throw for 2 touchdowns and rush for 1 in the opening half of his first career start. Now, oddly enough, the other one was Don Strock, who I had never heard of before we were getting ready for this segment. And you see them obliterate the Tampa Bay Bucks. Nick Bosa came out and he's like, look, we got a quarterback. I had a lot of confidence in him, but obviously it's the NFL and you've got to go perform. And he did that pretty darn good. My concern is all he needs to be is Jimmy Garoppolo, right? And like that was the thing. If they had lost, prime Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes, or whatever, I would be like, yeah, good luck, rookie. But all he has to be is Jimmy Garoppolo, which feels at least achievable. And they are a stylistic, difficult matchup for the Cowboys.
That's where I'm worried about playing them. Now, it would probably not be till the NFC Championship game because right now you'd have to play Tampa, which I think is an easy game. Then you go to Philadelphia. Very difficult. You would be underdogs. And if you were to win that and San Francisco were to beat, let's just say, Minnesota.
Assuming no upsets, of course.
Right.
But yeah.
And so that would be your matchup. That being said, I remember this stat. I'll always remember it because of how great the Cowboys were in 2016. Ho! We got ourselves a picture. It looks like somebody's buying a diamond ring.
Oh.
It's pretty amazing.
I love that. Do you want to invite them up right now and we'll just propose right here on the air? Okay.
We'll watch it right now.
No, we could make it happen.
I can give you advice.
But Dak Prescott as a rookie
well done.
lost in the first round. Very beautiful. And it's that rookie thing. Brock Purdy is a rookie.
Yes.
As good as San Francisco is, as good as maybe the Cowboys were in 2016, no rookie quarterback has made the Super Bowl. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So it would be, out of the ordinary for Brock Purdy to win 2 or 3 playoff games and make it to the Super Bowl?
So,
And I guess the other thing is, like you said, stylistically, he's doing what Garoppolo did. What was it, 70 yards or something that he wins to get into the Super Bowl, and Terry Bradshaw's like, hey, I did the same thing.
And that's what I go back to is, like I said, the bar of what the 49ers do with their quarterback is so many people, and I see people texting this in, it's all Shanahan, he makes that thing go. And that's why this part makes me nervous, is because there's Shanahan's like, hey, we got a whole offseason to figure this out. What I would really love if Trey Lance demanded a trade right now or something crazy like for the offseason and threw them into chaos. But realistically, Shanahan can pull Brock Purdy to the side and be like, hey, look, we got the whole offseason to figure out your next steps and how I'm going to turn you into a freaking star. Right now, let's go win, 8 more games or whatever the case might be, and maybe they'll only need 7. And they can figure it out in that small amount of window. He can figure out how to replicate Jimmy Garoppolo in terms of ability and production. And I don't like that because I do not want to match up with the 49ers. And if Brock Purdy raises them, or God forbid he raises them to an even better level than Garoppolo, that's not a matchup that I want to see.
I'm with you, and I don't think this is going to happen. It's so rare that Tom Brady happened. From the 6th round, obviously he went to a bigger school than Purdy. Purdy went to Iowa State. Is that correct?
Where'd he go again?
He
I
did.
forget.
That is correct.
Michigan.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Is that if Brock Purdy is to lead the 49ers to the Super Bowl, and let's just say win it, I think it would be very tough. I do think the AFC has much better teams than the NFC right now heading into the playoffs. And I know Philadelphia has the better record than all the AFC teams. But if Purdy were to do that, you do have a Tom Brady situation on your hands where he's in a great situation. He has a great defense. He's with a good running game. He has a coach that a lot of people respect as one of the premium coaches in the NFL. Could Brock Purdy end up being the next Tom Brady, where not thought of that much out of college, gets into the right situation, right coach, and then just keeps developing? You're like, hey, don't give him a lot on his plate now, but over the years of building confidence, winning games, all of a sudden Brock Purdy starts doing Tom Brady-like things. I don't think that's going to happen. It's the Tom Brady thing is just a freaking miracle. You got to give Tom Brady a lot of credit first, Bill Belichick a lot of credit second, the Patriots organization a lot of credit third, but Brock Purdy is kind of set up in that Tom Brady scenario.
But just as an aside, what a weird quarterback situation that the 49ers are dealing with on the other side of this. I'm sure they're fine with it, and they're like, guess what? People need quarterbacks. But Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt, but he's proven that he can be viable enough.
Yeah.
Trey Lance, who was the guy they drafted for this, continues to get hurt. Oh, and in the meantime, this nobody Mr. Irrelevant that we drafted might end up being the guy that leads the way anyway. I can't wait to see how that part shuffles out. Are they going to convince Trey Lance? You're going to be in a straight-up competition with Brock Purdy next year. Is Brock Purdy going to crash and fail after this first game? Because it was just one start in 2 games. And then they're like, Trey Lance is the dude. How's Garoppolo playing to this since they were trying to move off of him anyway? It should be remarkable.
I sound like a homer to somebody.
Yeah.
Because I'm talking about the Cowboys, who stand a chance to be a 14-win team this year.
Yeah.
All right. On top of the fact that they went 4-1 with a backup quarterback as well. I don't know. This is a good football team, and it's not homerish to be bullish on what they're doing. They're playing at a good level. I understand that last week was meh. They blew out another team. I understand it was 3/4 of bleh also. Also, look at the Cowboys' scores most of this season before the half, and then the second half is where this team blows out. Kevin, you talked about that too.
Yes.
I don't
They're
understand
the best
how
second-half team in the league.
One of the top 3 teams in the NFC, how it's homerish to say that they're neck and neck with at least the number 2 team.
That's why I asked the question.
Weird to me.
I don't think it's a definitive answer. That's why I asked the question, because I was like, I don't know.
And I do think 3 teams can go to the Super Bowl out of the NFC, and only 3. Philadelphia 1, San Francisco 2, Dallas 3. I don't think any other team has a chance to run the table and make it to the Super Bowl. I just think from that point you have a bunch of average teams. And I know what Minnesota's record is, but I think Minnesota will lose very quickly in the playoffs. They might beat New York, or they might beat Washington, or they might beat Seattle.
They'll be fun to watch. They're a blast to watch.
But I'm going to ask you guys going down the line right here. I'll start with Corey first, ending with Derek. Is if it was this Sunday, Dallas at San Francisco, playoff game, Who are you picking to win and why?
At Dallas?
At San Francisco, because they are going to be the division champ. You're probably not going to get to play San Francisco in Dallas in the playoffs.
They don't have Debo this Sunday then.
I'm picking the Cowboys.
Then I would pick the Cowboys for sure.
But, like,
Let's say they
that's
do,
a tough –
Let's say they do, because hypothetically we are looking more of like the playoff game. So they're going to have him.
It's a coin toss game for me, man. Like that could go either way. Both
because really, right now,
good.
you'd also have to say you don't have Tyron Smith and you don't have Terrence Steele playing for the Dallas Cowboys either.
I think you would have Tyron, but I understand you're.
But then you put Debo back in play if you're going to say that.
No, because I think Tyron's playing
you
this
do
weekend.
Think he's playing this
yes,
weekend?
Yeah, I think where it is. Yeah,
but I understand your point.
Sounds like T.Y.'s playing this weekend.
It's a tough call.
I like that.
I hope that the Cowboys defense was going vanilla last week and they can harass him. I guess I would give a slight edge to the Cowboys.
Okay.
That's a tough call.
Yeah.
Though.
I personally am going to pick the Cowboys just because I feel like Purdy hasn't really experienced a defense like the Cowboys.
Sure.
He hasn't really experienced any adversity. I think this would be the test for him to see if he's really that good. Cowboys defense and secondary is pretty strong. You can't say that they're not. So I get it. Debo's really good. I would say it would still be a close game, but I got the Cowboys. They would win.
And I guess I would lean towards San Francisco, to y'all's point, if Debo was healthy, because I do think that San Francisco would bully the Dallas Cowboys in another 20-17 type of game. I think it would be a low-scoring game, and I would worry about Dak turning the ball over because he is lately.
That is fair.
And then I would just worry about them being able to control the flow of the game because of them being able to run the ball.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the other thing, too, is I forgot about this as well. Christian McCaffrey over there, too. That's the other thing is Cowboys were fairly weak on the run defense, so that would be something that would kind of scare me.
And you're right about that. Over the last 3 to 4 weeks, they have been top-notch run defense-wise. I wonder about how losing Hankins is going to impact that. So that is fair. I would have concerns about that as well. I think it's a game I would be dying to see, but also really nervous to see, you know.
And I think 20 would win it. I think the team that got to 20 or the first team to 20 would win the game. I do think if Dallas and San Francisco play each other, I don't see Dallas racking up like close to 30 points or over 30 points. And I don't see San Francisco racking up close to 30 points. I think 20 would be a very magic number.